Good morning from the chilly trail. It is rare. I just realized I've got sunscreen on my nose. It's rare that I have a puffy on in addition to my fleece, but it was really chilly this morning, and I think I'm just not used to it anymore. I think it got down to about freezing last night. My water was a little bit crunchy, but far from frozen solid, thank God. But I slept not great. It wasn't because of the cold. I just couldn't get comfortable. Sometimes I'll have this weird, like nerve pain in my left calf, and I have it at home too. I've had it for a few years, so probably some kind of aging stenosis in my spine. But anyway, all good. And today's going to be gorgeous. So grateful for these dry days, even though we need the rain. I'm climbing up to that weather station right now. I'm about to shed some layers, though I'm getting hot. And last night, the little couple that is so cute, Rubber Soles and Propel is how he says his name. It says his name. It's really Propel, is how you spell it. But anyway, they were at the shelter, and he was sick too. So I kept my distance. They only went 7 miles yesterday, and they usually go a lot of miles. So that's unusual for them. But they said they were on the mend. I shared some of my herbal tea with them, and they were really sweet. They were grateful for it. Interestingly, I picked up a packet of lemon ginger tea at the hotel at their little breakfast buffet thing. And I thought, I don't even know I'm picking this up. I don't need it. But just something called to me about it. And I probably would have kept it in my pack forever, but that's exactly the one Rubber Soles wanted. So I'm kind of a believer in, something that's meant to be will not pass you by. So I think that tea was where it was supposed to be at the right time, and it was for her. But they got out early this morning, so I'm assuming they feel a lot better. I'll probably never see them again. They do such big miles, but Untouchable made it to. I thought he had allergies or something, but he said that he was peeing out his butt all day. Sorry to be so graphic, but his words. And yeah, he said he felt fine, but he was worried it was more just all the food he ate in town. So he felt fine otherwise. But still, I am really keeping my distance from these people right now and sanitizing and trying to wash my hands as much as I can. But I'm going to shed layers and take a picture of, gosh, this whole hillside of, you probably can't appreciate that, but it's all Dutchman's breeches, which is just this wonderful little wildflower. Just realized amid all the Dutchman's breeches, a bunch of ramps. So good. I should be looking for morels about now. There she is, the famous golf ball on the trail, the weather station. So apparently this is called the guillotine. Not hard to understand why. Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I know it's really, really wedged there. Probably has been there for millennia, but it's a little weird walking under it. If you've ever read the book Stuck Between a Rock and a Hard Place, you probably understand why this reminds me of it. Crazy. And if you haven't read that book, oh, look at that, Icicles. It's a really good book by Aaron Ralston. It happened many years ago, probably at least 20 or so. He was a young guy going through some canyons and some slot canyons and jumped down at one point, kind of put his foot on a boulder, much smaller than that, but still sizable enough to dislodge it. And it pinned his arm between the canyon and the boulder. And he was stuck there for many days until he decided he had to cut his arm off with like a Leatherman, something like that. But anyway, great book. There's a movie. It's not as good. They never are. But the book is fantastic. He's a good writer. My first trillium sighting of the season, and oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, that purple color. finally taken a lunch break. Wanted to find a fun little perch, and I definitely found it. But I thought I'd show you what I'm eating today, because it's kind of a fun one. It's carrot and raisin salad. It's a recipe from Backcountry Foodie, who I've mentioned many times before. It's a cold soak, and if you ever had Chick-fil-A's carrot and raisin salad back in the day, it slightly resembles that. It has some of the same elements, but it's really refreshing on a hot day, and today's kind of cold, but it's still yummy. And I'm gonna have it with some voodoo chips. I love these chips. And I'm gonna take a nice long break, so I've only got about 10 more miles to get to camp, and I'm making good time today. Finished up my lunch, moving on towards the shelter. Kind of a quiet day. I just ran into a big group of trail maintainers, all retired age. Those people just get after it. That's how it is at Carolina Mountain Club. It's a lot of people who just have the time to spare, which means they're in a different phase of life, but it's grueling work. I haven't done much, but what I've done gives me a new respect for what they're doing out here. So if you ever see a trail maintainer, make sure to gush on them. They deserve it. And it's all volunteer. Now that I'm in a different phase of life, I hope I get to plug in more to that too. I think it'll keep me hardy for the trail in a different way. But pretty views today. I've been watching the color creep up the mountains, the green, and it's exciting to see that. When I first moved to Waynesville, I'll never forget this, one of my favorite memories. I was about a year into my first job and standing in our surgical suite waiting for the animal that I was going to spay or neuter or do whatever on to be prepped. And I was just gazing out, looking at a very similar scene to this. And I said, man, it just is so fun to watch this spring crawl up the mountain. And one of the techs said, yeah, when you live here long enough, you don't even notice it anymore. And I remember being so worried that was going to happen and that I wouldn't appreciate it as much as I did in that moment going forward. And I can say safely now, gosh, 29 years later, I love it every year, possibly even more, since I know you only get so many springs in your lifetime. And boy, I love each and every one. So it's been a good day. Another moment of awe. Around the corner, and there's the James River. It's really pretty.